Word one, have you ever been in a situation and somebody said something to you that made you extremely mad? You found yourself screaming at them, cursing at them, and you felt like a fool afterwards. If you ever dealt with that, today in this video, what I want to talk to you about is the power of not reacting and letting a fool be a fool. What's up, Gene? This word to be great. I know this is easier said than done. It's so easy to get mad when somebody says something to trigger us. But in those situations, we give those people all the power and we let them to have control over us, and that's not going to help us in the situation. But if we get to the point that we learn not to react to everything somebody says, to everything somebody does, and we can keep ourselves cool, then we can win in situations in which we'll lose our cool. So what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to give you one thing that has worked in my life that will help you to allow a fool to be a fool by keeping yourself from reacting. I remember when I was working in the corporate world and I finally got promoted to a management position. Now, I was kind of young as a manager when you looked at the people that I was managing because they was all like 20, some of them 30 years older than me. Now, there was this one particular lady, she could not stand me, and she felt like I should not be in that position. So anytime she got an opportunity, she would undermine me. When I'd be talking to the staff, she had something smart to say. Now, it was my fault that I let it go on longer than it should have, but I was a new manager. I didn't know how to deal with individuals, and I was put in a position where I wanted to be liked instead of just leading like I was being hired to do. So I remember one day I just had enough. I was having a meeting and I was talking to some of the staff, and that employee, she decided to undermine me in front of the staff. She started getting an attitude. She started questioning my leadership skills. She started questioning me as a manager. And the more she did that, I noticed that the employees were looking at me and they was like, wow, this man let her talk to him like that? But I wasn't having it anymore. So I looked at her one day. I said, this is the way things are going to be ran. These are the instructions I've been given, and that's how it's going to go. She said, well, says who? I said, says me. I am the manager. This is how it's going to be ran. And if you have a problem with that, let me know. So she kept running her mouth. So what I decided to do is go to my superior, and I had that individual removed off my team. Now, what ended up happening is that individual was upset. That employee was so mad that I had to remove. So she used to see me in the hallway. She would see me in the cafeteria, and she was doing what all people that do that want to trigger you, and she started to bait me. She would have all these little smart comments. She would say to other employees. She would say all these little smart insults. But instead of me reacting, I stayed silent. You see, it was very hard for me to do that. But I realized that if I reacted to this employee, I was giving her more power. So instead, I kept my cool. I kept my silence because I knew that no matter what she said about me, she was not going to be on my team again. So this is why I want to talk to you about the importance of not reacting so you can let a fool be a fool like I did with this employee. And what I'm going to use is what I call the amygdala deactivation technique. Now, before I can talk to you about this technique, let's talk about the amygdala. The amygdala are these little bitty things that's inside of your brain. They're like little bitty small walnuts. And you know when somebody says something to you and you just get emotional, you get angry, those your amygdalas. They're the ones that trigger that emotional impulse that make you want to curse somebody out. That make you want to say something that you can later regret. That can make you look like a fool when a fool is trying to trigger you. Now, in order for us to be able to not react and let a fool be a fool, we have to deactivate this amygdala so we can activate our prefrontal cortex. Now, your prefrontal cortex is in the front of your brain. And what it allows you to do is make logical decisions. So when you have those emotional impulses, you want to go off. When you start to think logically, that is because the prefrontal cortex has been activated. Now, the amygdala deactivation technique that I talk about in my book, Worded to be Great, works like this. When you feel yourself being triggered, somebody says something to you, they're trying to bait you like that lady was trying to do for me when I kicked off my team. And you feel those emotions rising up. What you're going to do is say 10 logic, 9 logic, 8 logic. And the reason you're doing this is because by counting itself, That is a logical task. The amygdala can only deal with emotion. It cannot do anything when it pertains to logic. That is the job of the prefrontal cortex. So when you have those emotions rising up by those amygdalas and you start to count and you say the word logic, then it allows you to activate that prefrontal cortex so you do not react and you let a fool be a fool. You have too much potential. You have greatness inside of you. There's something in this world that you're supposed to be doing. And when people see you trying to do so, they will try to trigger you. They will try to get a reaction from you. And most of those individuals are fools. So the best way you can deal with them is not react and let a fool be a fool, because you are worthy to be great. If you like this video, I want to ask you to like and share the video. Also, hit that bell so anytime I post a new video, you're notified. Worthy ones, I know it's very hard to deal with fools, and you're going to have people that are going to try to trigger you. And I know I shared some things in this video that can help you, but if you want to take it to a deeper level where you can develop the self-discipline and the self-control, not just to be triggered by those who want a reaction out of you, but to build the confidence to achieve your dreams, I want to encourage you to go to Amazon and get my book, Word to Be Great. Now, this book has the tools that are necessary that's going to help you to build a self-discipline and self-confidence to realize your dream. Now, I also have a premium ebook of this book, and you can click the link below and get that premium ebook. It also comes with a course as well as a program that you can engage in that's going to aid you in building that self-discipline, self-control to realize your dream. So click the links below and get the Word to Be Great book today.